Yes, thank you, David, and thank you all those who helped to organize this event. And in fact, it will be, I hope so, a question for the new commissioner designate how he wants to deal with the clinical trials directive. And my personal view is we should concentrate the hearing on such issues and not bring issues in that are more political and on personal beliefs. We need a strong health commissioner who brings this agenda forward. The issue is very close to my heart, among others because when the Vioxx drug came on the market, Peter Götze referred to it, I was still practicing as a medicine. And at that time I was not so critical with the pharmaceutical industry than I am now. I have been recommended this drug to prescribe to my patients. It's what I did, and I also recommended it to my mother-in-law. She was suffering from suffering from a severe cancer and reacted with side effects on other painkillers, and so I recommended this because the company in fact said it has no side effect. It has no side effect. And now, after some years, the drug has been taken from the market, and we know, like Peter Götze mentioned, that there were data on severe side effects already in the clinical trials. So would we have a more transparent procedure? This would not have happened. Fortunately, the patients I treated didn't have these side effects, but I feel very offended when I remember this case. The second point why I think it's important is that we have many clinical trials in low and medium income countries like India. And we don't have enough information on the data there. And that may affect not only the poor people that are treated with drugs with side effects in India and don't get appropriate protection, but also patients in Europe. When you have the wrong assessment, not all the data are really taken into account, then you may have more side effects on the market when the drug is approved. So that's why I think it's very important that we work on this issue. But I would also agree with Cristian Busoi when he says there's not only that the glass is empty. We have a glass that is half empty or half full. EMA, the Commission, and many others are on their way to do better. So the situation has improved. The question is, did it improve enough? And there I see also a challenge for us in the draft regulation. We have a provision, and I would like the Commission to insist a little bit more that there is an approval and to show it. All clinical trials need to be registered, even if they are in third countries. So that will make us able to look at it much more carefully and to take this into account when we assess the clinical trials, when we really have an information that it exists. Because if it is not registered, you can make the data disappear. So if you register, somebody can ask, well, what happened with this clinical trial? One question where I don't have an answer, you referred to the intellectual property issue. I agree that with a patent there is no problem. But when we visited EMA last year with the ENVI committee and asked the people there about transparency, they said that 2/3 of the request for getting data is not from independent experts like we have here today, but from competitors. So there seems to be a competitive issue, and I think we need to find a balanced solution that not the competitors have the advantage of our regulation, but independent people who serve the public interest and the public health. So, Mr. Soros said we may improve the directive, the regulation. I'm sure we will. I share the view that it's a proposal that we should not reject. There are positive elements like the low-risk clinical trials provisions, which is necessary for independent research, for non-profit clinical trials. I'm in principle in favor for a more harmonized structure, less bureaucracy. But on the other hand, we need to look very, very careful on this question of transparency. Is this enough, or do we have to add more? We need to look at the role of the ethics committee, which is highly discussed among experts, and the protection of children and other persons not able to give consent. The Commission has slightly amended the wording, and we need to be very careful. I think the current wording in the directive was a good protection. When it needs to be changed, we need to look at it very carefully. So, but transparency will be an issue. This was a good starting point for the debate, and we will definitely take it up in our committees. Thank you very much.